Hello students, welcome to science class. Here I am back with the third part of the lesson, the living organisms and their surroundings. So in previous part we have learned about habitat and adaptation. So first of all, what is the meaning of habitat? Habitat means the surroundings where organisms live. Means the surroundings where organisms live is called a habitat. Now, two types of habitats are there. The plants and animals that live on land are said to live in terrestrial habitat. It means the plants and animals that live on land is called terrestrial habitats, and some examples of terrestrial habitats are forest, grassland, desert, then coastal region, mountain region, and terrestrial habitat. What about terrestrial habitat? So the plants and animals that live in water are called aquatic habitat. And some examples of aquatic habitats are ponds, swamps, lakes, rivers, oceans. Now biotic factor and abiotic factor also. Biotic factors, it means all living things. Living things such as plants and animals in a habitat are called biotic factors, and abiotic factors means non-living things. Non-living things such as rock, soil, air, water in a habitat, these all are abiotic components. So biotic component, abiotic component. Biotic component, all living things, and abiotic components, non-living things. Biotic component, plants and animals, and abiotic component, sunlight, heat, rock, air, soil, these all are abiotic component. Now in this part I will explain some terrestrial habitats. So terrestrial habitats are forest, grassland, desert, rainforest, etc. So here I explain first desert, about desert. You know that abiotic factors or abiotic component of the desert. So now, not only desert. So as I explain you about camels, a camel have long legs. What about other animals? What about other plants in desert? Do they all have same kind of adaptation like camel? No, because some animals are there like rat, snake. They does not have long legs like camel. So to stay away from the intense heat during the day. So what they do? So like snake and rats in desert, they stay in burrow deep into the sand. They make burrow deep in the sand, and they stay in burrow deep in the sand. Because during day it is very hot. So to stay away from this intense heat during the day, they stay deep in the sand, burrow. These animals come out only during the night when it is cooler. This is also a adaptation. Now about plants. So what about plants? So generally you know about transpiration in plant. So leaves of the plant get rid of excess water through the process of transpiration, you know that. So desert plants lose very little water through transpiration, because the leaves in desert plants sometimes totally absent or sometimes very small, or they are present in the shape of spines. Instead of leaves, desert plant have spines. This help in reducing loss of water from the leaves through transpiration. So the leaf-like structure you see in cactus is a stem. You know that photosynthesis process. So generally leaf perform the process of photosynthesis and make food for the plant. But I told you that in desert plant leaves are absent. So who make food for the plant? So here in desert plant, stem of the plant make food for the plant. Stem of the plant only perform the process of photosynthesis. See, the stem is also covered with a thick waxy layer which helps to retain water. And most desert plants have roots also. They go very deep into the soil for absorbing water, because again because here thick layer of sand in desert, so it is very difficult to find water for the root. So most desert plants have very long roots, so that go very deep into the soil for absorbing water. Now next is mountain region. So mountain region, when we see that, you know that mountain region, it means these habitats are very cold, normally very cold and windy. So in some areas snowfall also take place in winter, and here also very large variety of plants and animals living. So you may seen a large number of trees, but ever notice such trees naturally growing in the region? So here these trees adapted to the condition prevailing in their habitats. Normally these trees are cone shaped and have sloping branches. Because of that, the leaves of some of these trees are needle like, and this helps the rainwater and snow to slide off from it very easily. It means there could be trees with shapes very different from these, all present on mountains. So some animals also living in mountain region are adapted to the conditions. They have very thick fur, or we can say they have very thick skin to protect them from cold. For example, yak. Yaks have long hair to keep them warm. Now snow leopard also thick fur on its body. Now feet and toes also they have very thick, so this protect its feet from the cold when it walks on the snow. And the mountain goat has also strong hooves for running up the rocky slopes on the mountain. So now terrestrial ecosystem are ecosystem on land, and they can be as big as continent or as small as island also. Now terrestrial habitats make up about 28% of entire world's ecosystem. See here, grassland. Grassland, it means we can say plain only. So you know that a lion and deer, this type of animal live in grassland. Lion is very strong animal that can hunt and kill any animal like deer. It is very light brown in color, and deer also that same kind, and their eyes, lion's eyes also plays in the face, in front of the face only, and lion have long claws in their front leg, and that can be withdrawn inside the toes. So these toes help it to, it means its light brown color helps it to hide in dry grassland, and when it hunts for prey, and the eyes in front of the face allow it to have a correct idea about the location of its prey. Now what about deer? So deer also lives in forest, in grassland only. It has also strong teeth for chewing because deer eat hard plant stem. Deer needs to know about the presence of animal like lion that make it their prey. So in order to run very fast from them, so it has long ears to hear movement, it predators, and it has long and thin legs to run very fast, and the eyes on the side of its head allow it to look in all direction, and the speed of the deer helps them to run very fast from the predators. So these are the features of a lion and a deer or other animal and plants that helps them to survive in their habitat. Now we see about aquatic habitat. So some aquatic habitat. Aquatic habitat is something that is related to water because aqua means water. So as its name itself describes it, aquatic means water. So in an aquatic habitat, we can find animals as well as plants, both. So there are two types of water bodies, as you know, on the earth: fresh water bodies and salt water bodies. Like fresh water bodies, river and all, and salt water bodies, sea and marine water, like salty water. So first we see about ocean. So we already discussed about fish and their bodies, streamlined bodies and all. So some animals, other animals also there, squids, octopus, they do not have this type of streamlined body because they live deeper in the ocean and catch prey, whatever prey that moves towards them. And when they move in the water, they makes their body shape streamline. Now these animals also have gills to help them use oxygen dissolved in water. Now some other animals also like dolphin and whale. Dolphin and whale, they do not have gills. Just two animals are there, sea animals, aquatic animals we can say, whale and dolphin. They do not have gills. They breathe in air through their nostrils. And one more different organ is there. It is called blowhole. Nostrils, or we can say blowhole, and that blowholes are located on the upper parts of their heads. And these nostrils or blowhole allows them to breathe in air when they swim near the surface of water. It means they can stay inside the water for a long time without breathing also. They come out to the surface from time to time, as you have seen in movie and all, and to breathe in air. In many films or ocean life in television program also you have seen this. They come out to the surface from time to time to breathe in air. So now next is ponds and lakes. You have seen some plants also growing in ponds, lakes, rivers. So some of these plants have their roots fixed in the soil below the water. And in terrestrial plants, roots normally play a very important role, as you know, that in absorption of nutrient and water from the soil, because that functions of a root only, the function of a root, that absorption of the water and minerals from the soil. And however, in aquatic plants, roots are much reduced in size, and their main function is to hold the plant in place, because everywhere water is there. So here in aquatic plants, the main function of the root is to hold the plant in place. Here in aquatic plant, the stem are very long, hollow and light, and the stem grow up to the surface of water, and while the leaves and flowers float on the surface of the water like lotus plant may you have seen. And some types of aquatic plants are totally submerged in water. It means that all parts of the plant grow under water. So here some of these plants have narrow and thin ribbon like leaves, and this can be easily bent in the flowing water. When water flow with the flowing water, it can easily bend. Here leaves also highly divided through which water can easily flow without the damaging them. It means it is very fluffy. So it means also, so now here some animals also there, for example frog. Frog usually have ponds as their habitat. So here frogs can stay both inside the water and on the land, moves on land also, because they have strong back legs and help them in helping and catching their prey. So here it means frog can breathe on the land with their lungs, and frog can breathe with gills in the water. So they have webbed feet also which help them swim in water. So these are the common animals and plants in aquatic habitat. So aquifer and spring, when you will see here, look closely to the picture. Here aquifers and some springs are there. Streams and rivers, ponds, lakes, then some bays also there. Now oceans there, Gulf of Mexico. These all are water bodies. It means that aquatic habitat. So aquatic habitat versus terrestrial habitat, when we see that, so about animal, an aquatic animal is an animal who lives in water, and terrestrial animals is an animal who lives on exclusively in the land only. It means here major difference between aquatic animal and terrestrial animals. Aquatic animal live in water and terrestrial animal live on the land. Now aquatic animal respire through their gills or their skin, and terrestrial animal respire through their lungs or trachea. Now in aquatic animals show adaptations such as streamlined bodies, fins, webbed feet and air bladder. And here in terrestrial habitat animal show adaptations such as legs, then waterproof skin, feathers, covered eggs and kidneys. And in aquatic habitat animal skin is slimy, slippery and soft, and in terrestrial animal skin is leathery, hard or spiny. So students, here our terrestrial habitat and aquatic habitat we have learned. Now in next part hopefully we will learn about some characteristics of the living beings. Till then, if you have any query, any doubt, you can write in comment box. We'll meet you soon.